What is up, YouTube and all my fish keeping friends? How is everybody doing out there in fish tank land? Today we're going to be rescaping my Amazon biotype aquarium with a whole bunch more dried botanicals. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so I honestly have neglected this aquarium just a little bit. I haven't added any new leaf litter in this tank in months. I was traveling. You guys know I was gone for September and October for a lot of that. And this tank really just didn't get a lot of love. Most of the botanicals have broken down and biodegraded and are pretty much dissolved and gone. There's a lot of mulm in this aquarium, a little bit of algae because the tannins are down, and so the light can penetrate to the wood and cause that algae. If the tannins were a little bit higher and the water was a little bit more acidic, that algae wouldn't even really be able to survive. I have the imperial tetras in here. These are wild-caught imperial tetras from southern Peru, from the Madre de Dios River Basin. I actually collected them myself. I want to go ahead and rescape this aquarium, get a lot more botanicals in here, get the tannins up in this tank, get the pH down as well, and then get some spawning mops in here and really see if I can get these imperial tetras to give me at least a handful of eggs on some spawning mops, so I can kind of build a little bit more of a colony here. I am really blessed to have this awesome collection of dried botanicals. I have stuff here from around the world. I have like a complete cornucopia of dried botanicals. A lot of the stuff here in the back I've collected here from the Caribbean myself, so I have almond leaves and banana leaves and some other things from some different palm trees. There's also a lot of really cool stuff that I've gotten from my aquarium box, in myaquariumbox.com. If you guys don't know about my aquarium box, they have an awesome collection of dried botanicals. They do have a subscription box as well that you can get into. I do have a product with them. I've got the Blackwater starter kit. I don't know if it's in stock right now or not. If you do want it and you're interested, go ahead and get a hold of Greg Jones and one of them over there at my aquarium box, and they can probably get you one of them. So I have all this awesome stuff, all these different cones and different leaves and sticks and twigs and different seed pods and stuff like that. Now, the West Indian almond leaf is known to be the #1 best leaf to use in aquariums for lowering pH. It also will create a super large amount of tannins in the water. Shrimp definitely love these leaves as well. They like to consume all the beneficial bacteria and the infusoria that grow on the leaves, and they will also eat the almond leaves themselves. There's another leaf that I really like to use within my aquarium, and that is the banana leaf. It is a really nice leaf to work with shrimp as well, and just in all of my Blackwater scapes. The one thing I love about banana leaves is they do not break down as quickly as the catappa leaf or the almond leaf, so I can put them in the tank and I know that they're going to be there for a little while. There are 3 main cones that are super popular within the aquarium hobby right now. The #1 and the most popular is going to be the alder cone. This is also known as the goddess tree. It is found in parts of southeastern Germany in the Black Forest. It also is found in other parts of Europe as well. Now, this is actually not a pine cone. The alder tree is not a conifer. It is actually more closely related to a flower than a pine cone, as much as it looks like a little miniature pine cone. This is, you can really think of this as a bio ball in your aquarium. There's so much surface area here for beneficial bacteria. The shrimp totally love these guys. They love to graze on all the beneficial bacteria on the cone, and they also like to eat the cone as well. The second one we have here is the casuarina cone. Now, this is a conifer. This is known as the Australian pine. It's found all over parts of Australia as well as parts of Eastern Asia. I really do love these cones. I just love the design and the shape of them. Just like all the other cones, I just look at it as like a bio ball. There's so much surface area here for beneficial bacteria. The shrimp do love these as well, and it's just a really cool shape and interesting cone to have in the aquarium. And the third one we have here is the birch cone. This is a really nice cone. It's a little bit longer than the other cones. It does also resemble a little miniature pine cone. The birch is a deciduous hardwood. It's found in parts of Asia as well as North America. It's really interesting to know that between 30 and 60 different taxonomy of birch are to be on the red list at this point and threatened and endangered. So that's interesting to know as well. I really like to be able to mix these 3 different cones along with other dried botanicals to create a really nice scape. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of everything that I have and make an awesome scape in this aquarium. But the first thing that I have to do is sterilize all of this stuff for about an hour and a half, boiling it in a pot of hot water. So all this stuff is gonna go into a pot along with a whole bunch of almond leaves and banana leaves. I do have a large cauldron boiling in my kitchen. Yes, I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this awesome assortment of botanicals that I have here, and the whole thing is just going right in this pot of boiling water. And on top of that, I'm going to take a whole bunch of West Indian almond leaves, and I'm doing a lot of West Indian almond leaves here. There's gonna be a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna be putting about 50 almond leaves in this aquarium in the end. If I have any left over, I'm gonna be adding those in some of my other aquariums that could use some more botanicals. Okay, there's definitely more than 50 almond leaves in here. That's for sure, but I will definitely use them. Now on top of the almond leaves, I wanna go ahead and use some banana leaves, and I'm probably gonna use like this much banana leaf right here. And I'm just gonna take the whole thing, stem it all, and that's going, and I'll use this as well. That's all going in the pot. And I'm gonna go ahead and let this pot boil for about an hour, hour and a half, and let all of this stuff get sterilized so that there's no water funguses really that are gonna be released into the water. It's gonna reduce the possibilities of having some kind of a bacteria bloom that you're gonna have to deal with or anything like that. So I definitely recommend sterilizing all your dried botanicals. Here we go. Got all kinds of awesome botanicals here. This is a nice assortment of goodies. This is from a banana palm, I believe. And this is from kind of like a date palm, as far as I know. And then we've got the almond leaves. But I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the aquarium in a specific kind of order. I've noticed what works for me when scaping Blackwater and scaping with botanicals like this. I like to do bigger pieces first, so I'll do some whole leaves and do some bigger chunks, and then I like to tear up a whole bunch of almond leaves into lots of little pieces, put those on top of that, and then I like to work my way into the smaller stuff like these little pieces like this from the banana and the Casuarina cones, the Alder cones, Birch cones, and cool little twig-like stuff like this as well. Like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and put a couple of whole almond leaves in here in the back. Now the water's all stirred up. It's gonna be this way for about a day or so. Now all these leaves have been boiled for about an hour and a half, so they should all sink pretty well. Not everything is going to sink tonight, but by tomorrow, most of it will sink. So now I like to just rip up the almond leaves into lots of little pieces. Put just little pieces because it lays better. It kind of makes a little bit of a denser layer of leaf litter if you're working with little smaller pieces of almond leaf. So I literally am going to rip up like 15 West Indian almond leaves for this 55-gallon aquarium. So I tear up these leaves and I just throw them in there, and I really want them to go where they naturally would want to go. I have a hang on the back here to give a little bit of a flow and to really help to polish the water, but it's gonna push those leaves around and put them where it wants to. So I'm not really trying to force it, I'm letting it be natural. So I have a whole bunch of banana leaf here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that into the aquarium now. I'm gonna go ahead and add some of these date palm twigs. I believe the flowers actually grow off of these twigs or something like that. I really love the shape of these guys, and I think they're gonna look really cool in this Blackwater scape. So I really don't like to scape it like I said before, but I do want to keep this area in the front opened up because this is just where I like to feed my bumblebee catfish. Plus it gives me a place where I can kind of display these different kinds of cones and seed pods and stuff like that, just to make it look a little aesthetically pleasing and interesting. It's looking pretty good to me. It's definitely cloudy and murky. There's a lot of suspended particles in the water column, but I'm really kind of enjoying what it's starting to look like. But there is some botanicals that are definitely still floating. Even after about an hour and a half of boiling everything, a lot of the larger things, these big pods, are definitely still floating. They've got a lot of air in them still. So I'm going to go ahead and let them float for a while, and just as a test to see how long it takes for them to get saturated and to get heavy and sink to the bottom. Well, I want to go ahead and let this tank settle for a little while. I want to let the hang on the back filter, polish the water for a little bit, and also let the tannin start to get released from these leaves, and this tank is going to look beautiful. So let's go ahead and fast forward to tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really happy that I could have the chance to share with you this really awesome Blackwater scape that I've been working on for the last year or so. But if you guys are interested in starting your first Blackwater scape or something, this Blackwater starter kit that I do have available at myaquariumbox.com, it's really, really awesome. I think it's $19.95 right now. I do not know if it's in stock or not, but you can go ahead and send a link or a little message to Greg Jones from My Aquarium Box and let him know if you do want one of these. Check it out. And remember that I do have a product code, discount code with My Aquarium Box. It's MABJH. I use that when purchasing any kind of dried botanicals, or if you're just getting set up with the subscription box for the first time, it'll get you $5 off your first My Aquarium Box. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all of you that like, comment, and share on all my content. It means so much to me. It's the motivation and the inspiration for me to keep doing this stuff. And remember guys, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.